Hey, yes. Hey, Jimmy, we're so glad that you're here with us
Yes, sir.
today. Guys and gals, we've got a great crowd here at the Quarterback Club. They're anxious to hear from you. I wanted to tell them just a little bit about you. Jimmy
Yes,
is
sir.
great defensive line coaches in the country today. If you remember that number four, well, I think he was 41, whatever he was, he made about 1,000 tackles against us, Josh Allen. Jimmy has a reputation for being able to find guys and sign guys and coach guys up like that. You saw a little bit of it Saturday. Let's give a great Quarterback Club welcome for our defensive line coach, Jimmy Brumbaugh. Jimmy.
Thanks for having me. I wish I could be there today, with all this COVID and things going around, but, I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
Jimmy, you're welcome. I know there's going to be several questions from our group here, and so we'll stop you at because we made a deal that we'd stop you at 10 minutes so you could get back to work. But assess your the line's performance Saturday against Georgia. What were you pleased with, and what were you not pleased with?
Well, I think the guys went out there. We talked about going out and being physical at the point of attack. Being able to stop the run, put them in passing situations. We got to a lot of third down situations. I was proud of the guys going back out. We had some things happen in the ball game that we couldn't control, but they went back out and answered, and we held them on the goal line on two separate situations. Had a turnover there, went back on the field in the second half, held them to 6 points, and those 6 points with those two turnovers. The guys kept fighting and clawing back. They never gave up. And that's what I was really proud of them for.
Okay. Give me a question from the audience is talk about your personnel and who you've seen maybe the biggest jump from the start of practice and who you're waiting to kind of unleash.
Well, Latrell Bumpus has done a real good job. Him and Matt Butler, they've done a good job in understanding the scheme, understanding what I'm asking for them, from them. And, they're leaders. They study the game. They come in. They want the tips and reminders. And from that standpoint, it really helps them in the ball game because you can see them watch things happen, and the back may move or different situations, and you can see them move their alignment, just doing different things that now I know they're understanding the game. And, some guys that, have done a good job but just haven't really gotten the reps right now, that are going to be good players is, of course, Big O, Amari Thomas, Simmons, Elijah Simmons has done a good job in the middle, anchoring the point. So there's been some guys in there that have really contributed and really, like I said, not giving up and kept fighting.
Yes, sir.
Can you address the illegal chop block?
The question is, can you address the illegal chop block on Isaiah Simmons? I think Richard's speaking.
Elijah Simmons. Well, I got my fingers crossed because it was a really, really bad chop block. They set him up. But, I'm just glad he wasn't hurt and he was able to get up.
Yeah. Question is, what are you looking for when you're going out to recruit an interior defensive lineman in our league?
Well, the first thing I want to look at, does he have the size? Playing in the SEC, myself playing in the SEC, I know at some point that you got to make sure that they have the girth to be able to hold up inside. The next thing you want to look at is change of direction, in speed. You want to make sure those are intangible things because you can't just sit there. You got to move a little bit. So you want to be able to make sure they have what I call COD, change of direction, and that they can rush the passer from a standpoint of maybe pushing the inside pocket, which is critical, especially like Saturday, getting your hands up on the quarterback who was a little bit shorter and making him throw over you. And the next thing, be able to have pass rush ability inside to be able to get on edges.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Who's the best run stopper among defensive linemen? Who's the best pass rusher?
The question is, Coach, who's the best run stopper right now amongst our defensive linemen, and who's the best pass rusher amongst their defensive linemen?
That's a toss-up. I got two guys up front that I feel like, they do what's asked of them, and that's Latrell Bumpus and Butler. I think that they do a good job of really understanding the things and really make extra plays. You want to be able to make plays like you're fitting in your position, but into helping the defense, but then you got to be able to get off the block and go make an extra play. So I think those two right now. And then from a standpoint of just being able to, hey, I'm going to go rush the passer. I got quickness and twitch and this. I would say Jay Blakely inside because he has ability to be able to get on the edge and rush when need to.
Well, I know Saturday is a particularly big game for you because you were at Kentucky, and while you were there, I think you recruited and developed Josh Allen. Did you know when you first saw him that he would be what he is?
Well, the fortunate thing when I was there, I had Zadarius Smith and Bud Dupree and Josh Allen, and I mean those are three of the top guys in the NFL right now rushing the passer. But, Josh was a guy that came in, and he was an undersized guy. He was a 212-pound guy when he came in. And, he had the ability to be able to sit behind Bud and Zadarius and watch those guys develop. And then he just blossomed. He took those things. He had the ability to be able to get on the edge and do some different things. And like I said, he grew. I remember him walking into the first day. We're like, what in the world? And then all of a sudden he put 10, 15 pounds on, 10 or 15 more pounds, and ended up being a 260-pound guy. You got to recruit and develop. You can't judge a man's heart. The only way you judge his heart is by watching him play on the football field. And here was a guy who ran around on the football field and is doing it in the NFL now.
Yeah, the question is, you've been in our league playing and coaching off and on since the mid-'90s. Who's the best interior defensive lineman that you've seen during all your time playing or watching or coaching in our league?
Whoa, that's a tough one there.
What would be the answer?
It's a real tough one because I've been around a lot of great ones, and I've coached a lot against a lot of great ones. When I worked at LSU, we had 2 or 3 good ones. That's hard to say, to be honest with you.
We're going to have you back in a couple of weeks and give you food for thought, and we'll send a little way, by the way, after this meeting. 2 more questions. Yes.
Can I ask an offensive question? I think we got 2 of the best running backs in the country, and we talk about establishing the running game. Yet we only have one of them in the backfield at a time. That means at the end of the season, we got both of them on the sideline for half the season. That doesn't make any sense to me.
The question came from our yesterday's hero. It was a great Bob of a few years ago, George Sylvie, and he wanted to know if you would pass on to the running backs coach about having both of those running backs in the game at the same time. He says he thinks they're really, really good, and we're letting one set a lot. So not a question, but just a comment from a volunteer who knows. A friendly comment.
Well, I can tell you one thing. I've been with a lot of great coaches through my years of not only playing but coaching, being around a lot of good offensive coordinators, defensive coordinators. I've been around the best in the business, I feel, from Brother Oliver to Terry Bowden to different guys that I've been around. I tell you what, Coach Pruitt is one of the best coaches I've been around in a long time, and I'm not saying that because I'm working for him or anything like that. I see his intangibles. I see the things that he's doing. I watch how we play. I watch what we're doing, and I know we're on the right path. That's why I chose to come here, and that's why I chose to be a Vol. And I wouldn't make any other decision based on what I've seen, what I'm doing. And I know it takes time to develop and teach because I watched us change that program at Kentucky to what they are now. I'm not comparing us to them, but I know we're on the right path, and I know that we got to keep being physical. We do got to run the football, and we have to play as a unit. Once you saw when we played as a unit on Saturday what we did, against the number 3 team in the country. And I know that we're going there. And I'm proud to be here. And I'm going to keep fighting every single day, finding a way to win these ball games.
Coach, the last question, besides tell Legend hello, who's one of the great guys. You got to be proud of him. I'm sure you are. But the question is you coaching against the offensive line or watching the offense or watching other guys, what young 1 or 2 guys kind of flashed to you that said, hey, that guy's got a chance to be really good? You got a couple you can tell us?
Oh, I'll tell you what, Spraggins is a physical kid, man. He loves the game. You know, he gives his all. It doesn't matter if it's practice, whatever it is. You know, like he lives on that hard theory, and you know, I'm glad he's on our side because I think young man's going to develop into a good football player.
Hey, Coach, you did a great job. We're glad you're here. Have a great rest of the day. God bless you. Let's give a great quarterback club. Thank you, too.
Thanks. Appreciate it.